What is your internal sort of thought process like when you are saying those dialogues?
While I was just talking to Suresh and I said, "तो क्या ठोक देने का?" And that makes so much sense in Rukhsana's world.
Do you find that fascinating when the character is having
What
layers
you
and layers?
said is very fascinating for me.
OTT has really opened horizons for me. I mean, Delhi Crime really changed it. That became a game changer. And finally, I am doing the kind of roles that I've always wanted to do.
They asked me कि क्या आपकी फिल्म मिस्टर बच्चन के
घर के बारे में
की बायोपिक है? तो मैंने कहा उस सवाल के जवाब के लिए आपको प्रतीक्षा करनी पड़ी.
That's a very good one. The norms of commercial cinema are very different. But on OTT, it's not like that. There's no formula you have to follow.
They play Holi in the morning and then afternoon,
Watch
they just sit and enjoy Jalsa on Prime Video.
It's a huge privilege to have two of the finest actresses in India, Shefali Shah and Vidya Balan. Huge pleasure to have you guys on Bollywood Hungama.
Thank you.
And
Thank you,
fantastic
Faridoon.
promo of Jalsa. The best part is, that you're not giving away a lot of things and just provoking interest, which is always a good sign.
Yeah.
Especially about your character. I think there are shades of grey, which is beautiful.
No, I think
They're not?
even I feel that the trailer is so well cut.
Yeah,
Because it's intriguing.
I agree.
Maybe misleading.
Yeah.
But like you said, it sparks interest.
All right. And what about you, ma'am? As we were discussing, I should not call you ma'am. I'll call you Shefali today. All right. So Shefali, as Vidya was just saying a short while back, the way you say that to get hooked, the way you're saying and the way you're looking, that just it's like a dagger through the heart, which is brilliant for I think any actor when it comes to like an audience reaction. What is your internal sort of thought process like when you are saying those dialogues?
It might sound strange, but for me, the lines come right in the end. Like normally people work with the lines and then backwards. I work the other way around. So by the time I've created her in my mind and by the time I've started playing her, I become her. So that line just falls into place then. I think while we were discussing it, it was a similar context, but the word thok denga wasn't there. तो क्या मार देंगे or something like that I said. And while I was just talking to Suresh and I said, तो क्या ठोक देने का? And that makes so much sense in Rukhsana's world. I mean, of course, it's one of those scripts which is so rich, even written, that you just pick up from it and then you grow. But I normally work create the person, then approach the line, because then I will talk like her.
Right.
If Shefali had to say that line, I would say it very differently.
All right, and Vidya, I think you always love to surprise your audience, and even here, the character is very interesting. You cannot straitjacket it. You cannot pinpoint as to what exactly is that person all about. There is a truth written behind her, but maybe she is not really the purveyor of or someone who completely stands for truth in a way. Do you find that fascinating when the character is having layers and layers?
What you said is very fascinating for me. Because actually, she's a journalist who prides herself on chasing the truth, no matter the cost. But because of this one accident, and Suresh once described it to me like that. He says, गाड़ी एक जन चला रहा है, गाड़ी के नीचे एक जन आ गया, पर actually बहुत लोग गाड़ी के नीचे आ गए. Because it impacts the life of many people. Because of this one accident, I think her principles are put to test, her professional ethics, who she's believed herself to be. Her life as she's known it, is under threat of being destroyed. So that's because you said that, just now. The fact that, sorry, you said, I took off
She's
from
a
what you
purveyor
said.
of truth, but
She's actually a purveyor of truth, but at this point you don't see her like that.
Right, which is very interesting. All right, so Shefali, the movie is releasing on 18th. You guys are launching the promo on 9th. आई थिंक आज से कुछ साल पहले ये बहुत ही अनथिंकेबल सा लगता कि फिल्म के रिलीज होने से 9 दिन पहले जो है प्रोमो रिलीज हो रहा है, बट आई थिंक दिस इज समथिंग विच इज बिकमिंग अ बिट ऑफ अ नॉर्म नाउ. द क्लोजर इट इज to the release of the film, the better it is, because the attention span of people will have it stored
Fresh.
in a fresh manner. Do you find it interesting, like in terms of, मैंने पहले भी आपसे discussion किया है कि as an artist, the way you are being discovered through the streaming platforms, through OTT platforms, it's simply fascinating. And this is another aspect of it.
I mean, thank God. I've been working for a very long time, and this is what I aspired to do. This is the kind of work I wanted to do. But it didn't pan out like that. There was a patch where I was really frustrated. And then I reached a very comfortable space of knowing that the kind of work I want to do will come rarely. So I'll wait for it. Also, I got blocked into a certain box very early. And it was because of the choices I made as an actor. And I don't regret them, because I feel as an actor, the point is that you played somebody who's completely different from you.
Right.
So age was just a part of it.
Right.
You know, but once you play that age, you just get boxed. But the OTT has really opened horizons for me. I mean, Delhi Crime really changed it. That became a game changer. And finally, I am doing the kind of roles that I've always wanted to do, projects that I wanted to do, and age appropriate, extremely nuanced, extremely strong characters, parallel leads, and it's great. I mean, derai durust hai. Really, I feel, thank God.
Right, and I think Humans has got a great response for you in the recent times.
Yes.
Which is fascinating. Now, Vidya, आपका बहुत ही एक दिलचस्प सा आपका एक पूरा एक ट्रेजेक्ट्री आपकी रही है, and आप you're one of the very few actresses जो कि पिछले 10-15 साल में जिनके अराउंड फिल्में बनाई गई हैं. And you are someone who enjoys the entire prospect of promotions.
Really?
No, you know,
I'm sorry, I don't mean with no offense, but like really?
You know, there was when Kahani was about to release, so we had a meet and greet with her. So she was having a prosthetic, that entire thing.
So sweet.
And patiently she just did the entire event. She spoke to the fans, did the interview, everything. And she was smiling and laughing right through it.
You know,
And that's how
Shefali, I've done 53 interviews in a day. Those days, I used to start early and finish in the middle of the night. It was only because, you know, I could tell people that this film is releasing on so and so date, so that they don't forget and hopefully reach the theatre at least on that day or sometime on the weekend, because there was no precedent for this kind of films, right? So we were like really pushing and doing.
You were really
all
pushing your baby.
Yeah, really,
Literally.
So I've done that. I've enjoyed that. Now I have to admit that maybe now that we're doing in-person promotions again, maybe I'll enjoy it more. But Shakuntala and Sherni were very intense, but I was sitting in one place and I would get exhausted. I would lose my voice because there's no travel time or anything, right? So you're constantly going at it. But I feel today itself I'm feeling so much better, you know, having stepped out, and I think we also thrive on this,
Absolutely.
right? Yeah. So I used to love promotions, and maybe I'll
you know,
go
the best
back.
part is that she goes by the context of the film. Like a Vidya Balan for the Dirty Picture will be completely different from Vidya Balan for
But that's
Tumhari Sulu.
how amazing she is. That's
in
why
Tumhari Sulu,
she's
her
who
voice
she
will
is.
change. The modulation of her voice, which is so fascinating. It's not one person that you're meeting. You're
Exactly.
meeting, in a way, the characters, which is very interesting. So, do you find this interesting now that after that particular phase that you've seen, that you're promoting film, like say 9 days before the launch of the film,
Yeah.
and both Shakuntala and Sherni, they've done exceedingly well on
Yeah,
the
but
platforms.
you know, both Shakuntala and Sherni were promoted for 2.5 weeks each. So this time I panicked. I called up Vikram Malhotra and I said, listen, why? Why are we not promoting it for as much time? And they said, you know, because I think through experience, they have figured that you need to do a short, intense burst. So every day I was calling up my manager and saying, नहीं पर आज शुरू क्यों नहीं हो रहा है? आज क्यों नहीं कर रहे? Because I'm very used to pushing a lot more. But I guess, and then I spoke to Siddharth, and Siddharth also said, it's great that you all are just promoting for 9 days. I was like, okay, this is a new world that I need to get used to. But I think if it works, it's great. The idea is to make sure that it's fresh in people's minds, and now they don't even need to step out.
All right. I had a question for both of you. Both of you have worked with Mr. Bachchan. By any chance, did you guys have discussions about the title of the
Actually,
film?
oh no,
I never thought.
but I read that somewhere.
Yeah, no, but that it's a biopic on Mr.
Bachchan's
Bachchan's
house.
Can
Yeah.
you believe it? So when someone told me that, they asked me कि, क्या आपकी फिल्म Mr. Bachchan के
घर के बारे में लिखी है,
की
बारे में
बायोपिक है. तो मैंने कहा उस सवाल के जवाब के लिए आपको प्रतीक्षा करनी पड़ी.
That's a very good one.
No,
That's a very
what
good
do
one.
you say? How can it be the biopic of a house?
I think you should have said yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
All right. So now talking about the film, the interesting part is that the promo is extremely intense. You know, and do you at times feel, like, say, I'll come to you first of all, that you're not being in a way, you know, asked for the, in a way I'm saying context के basis पे crutches के गाना भी होना चाहिए और ये होना चाहिए. कहानी है and promo में सिर्फ कहानी के बारे में हमें पता चलता है, which is interesting in a way as well. Do you find it more fulfilling in a way that
I find it incredibly fulfilling for Faridoon, because, you know, and that is what OTT has broken. The norms of commercial cinema are very different. But on OTT, it's not like that. There's no formula you have to follow. Also, when you're making a film like Jalsa, the content is so rich and intense, and it does not. See, I'm not saying that a song doesn't have to be in a film like Jalsa or can't be. I mean, we do have a song, in fact, 2 songs.
Yeah.
But
The background
they're
score.
background scores. I mean, in a film like Jalsa, you wouldn't expect any of the characters to break into a song. You know? And that, I think, I mean, yes, OTT does break a lot of shackles of the requirements of a Bollywood commercial film. But besides that also, today filmmakers are ready to do this. There's no formula. See, I mean, I think today's time and age helps us and actually pushes us to explore, express, and, you know, rediscover. And it's great because you're not sticking to what used to work, because you don't really know what used to work.
right?
You know, like, I mean, when I say this, some of the best, if everyone knew the sure shot success or a formula for success, then every film would have been that. Everyone would have worked towards that, and they all do work towards it, but you never know the fate of a film. Like, I always say this, that a fate of a film is like a baby. It's just, every film comes with its own fate. But I don't think Jalsa is not something that would have gone with songs like that. But it does have 2 songs. And I love the second one. I love the second song.
Yes.
I love it.
Now, आपकी जो पिछली फिल्म आपकी जो थिएटर में आई थी, मिशन मंगल, it did 200 crores. Now this is your 3rd film on OTT. Both the other films they've done exceedingly well. Now, how do you look at way forward for you as an artist from here on? With pandemic hopefully settling down, how do you
hopefully.
plan to juggle between, say, digital and theatre?
I think, you know, with Shakuntala, the film was ready when the pandemic hit, and therefore it was a great boon to be able to release the film on OTT. And then similarly with Sherni. But with Jalsa, it was a choice.
Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah,
It
you know,
looks like.
and I'm so glad because I think it's a universal story which will find universal appeal, and therefore the fact that Amazon Prime takes it to a universal audience is fantastic. So I think I see myself doing work everywhere. I'm a greedy actor, you know, so I don't want to limit myself. I'm genre, I'm medium agnostic in that sense. Whatever is right for a film.
Whatever is right for the film.
Also, I guess things are just opening up and our film is ready.
Yeah.
Right, definitely.
Hot off the oven.
Right, and do you feel that the audience preferences will be different from what it was 2 years back from here on?
I think even 2 years back, we saw that, you know, people were veering towards a certain kind of film on big screen, which is which is a more extravagant, visually large film. You know, I think the more intimate films have I think a smaller audience. But the great thing, therefore, is that those intimate stories can be told on OTT today and will still find a large audience. So I think we're actually enjoying the best of both worlds.
How do you look, ma'am, at the future of the entertainment industry in India? Because we are at a very interesting juncture. Suddenly, the films from South, I think they are doing exceedingly well, and they're going pan India. Even in terms of content, in terms of technical element, box office, they are becoming huge. We are doing a lot of remakes of South content. Marathi as well. I think they're coming up with some very interesting subjects as well. At the same time, we have the entire OTT thing which is happening. So, आपकी नज़र में क्या है future entertainment industry का?
Of course, I mean, now there are two questions here.
जी.
One is the kind of cinema that's being made, and I think everyone's aspiring to obviously make the best content. I'm sure they did the same earlier, but like I said earlier, there were certain boxes they had to tick, which I think is breaking. As far as commercial films are concerned, trust me, it's a tradition in our country to go and watch stars in a theatre and eat samosa. So that is never ever going to go away. Yeah. It's really never going to go away. I mean, somebody who travels from Dahisar to town for work gets one weekend off, they're going to, really choose where they're going to spend that money. And it's like, let's go to the theatre. It's a family event. It's never going to change.
Right.
But with the OTT, what has happened is that it's opened horizons for all creative people. Like I said, it's about experimenting, expressing and exploring. And when this film will drop, it will drop in 240 countries in one go. So the competition is not just your neighborhood or what film was made last weekend. You're pushed to making better, you're pushed to creating work which is international. And you're exposed to cinema from all across the globe. All these languages in our country. I mean, we have such a rich culture of filmmaking, And, also somewhere I feel is that OTT is a huge boon because a lot of these films, even like for example, Disciple, okay, I don't think it got a theatrical release. And it's on OTT. So a Marathi film, which won at an international level, and now you can watch it at home. I don't know whether it would have had a theatrical release, and even if it did, how many people would go and watch it? How many people are aware that it was at the Cannes and it won and whatever, So I think all of it works together. I think it's a boon to also, like Vidya correctly said, earlier the fate of the film was decided on a weekend, unfortunately. No matter how good the film was, if it didn't do well on the weekend or the box office collections didn't come in, people would write it off.
Yeah.
But with OTT, it's for posterity. It's there forever. You may watch it at your time, probably not that weekend,
right,
but you'll watch it, and it's going to be seen across the globe.
No, definitely. We've seen how Delhi crime suddenly starts trending. So there's no set time period per se. It is so amazing. So आपने बंगाली में आपने किया हुआ है काम, आपने साउथ के लैंग्वेजेस में आपने किया हुआ है. I think Telugu, Malayalam and Tamil.
Tamil, yeah.
You know all the languages.
She's Tamilian.
I'm
Not
Tamilian,
Tamil, huh?
but we're Tamilians from Kerala.
Okay.
So we are from Palakkad. So our language is actually a mixture of Tamil and Malayalam.
Oh.
So I understand Malayalam fully. If I spend a few days there, then I begin to speak Malayalam.
Okay.
Tamil I speak anyway, but not the kind of Tamil they speak in Chennai. It's very different.
Okay.
And then Telugu, I understand. I've picked it up over the years.
Right. So, it is so fascinating that, say, for example, if I have to watch, say, Jai Bhim, for example, I prefer to watch it in Tamil with English subtitles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or like, say, Minnal Murali, for example, I'll watch it in Malayalam with English subtitles, and you still understand the entire nuance of it. As a creative person, do you find it fascinating that language is no longer a bar for good content?
Absolutely. That, it's like music, right? It doesn't matter what language a song is in.
Yeah.
If it connects to you, you just enjoy it. Similarly with films. And I think it's today, therefore, non-Hindi language films are also doing well nationally, because people have gotten exposed to watching content in all languages from all over the world with subtitles. And therefore now they're able to watch also South films, Bengali films, Marathi films, besides Hindi films. I think it's great. As an actor, for me, I've always preferred doing this. So I've always watched stuff with subtitles.
Yeah. Instead of the
As a
dub
matter
version.
of fact, I would
Dub, you
also
don't get the
watch
nuance.
English content with subtitles. I still do.
I watch
Subtitles?
English content with subtitles.
Because I don't like to miss a single word, and sometimes
okay.
you miss it in the accent. So I like watching it with subtitles.
Right, and interestingly, even the usage of English, the way it is happening in Indian content, because English is as much an Indian language.
Yeah.
I think what Siddharth sir has done in Rocket Boys, I loved it, and I think it's 70% English maybe, or 60-70% in English maybe, and Gada English, but it's beautiful. It's
But
like
they're being
simply
true to the
fascinating.
context, no? Which is why I think
Cambridge.
that even in Narcos,
Yeah.
it took me episodes to realize that I didn't know the language. I didn't even realize it in the first 2 episodes.
Which is very fascinating.
Yeah, it is.
And by the end of it, you know quite a few Spanish words
I know the right ones.
and the context, as well, I'm sure.